Hello and welcome to the information sessions that is specifically made for patients' family today. And I'm your occupational therapist, Miriam Yu. So our topic today will cover the importance of occupational therapy sections for elderly, and also how it can impact elderly's mental health. And the occupational therapy sections that I'm talking about today is mostly not for the physical abilities of the older adults. It's more on the cognitive side and how we can do to help them to engage back to the doing their daily activities. So to start with, let's have some background information and some basic ideas of what a typical OT section looks like for elderly. So here are some pictures for the sections. Here is the elderly. So we're not focusing on the physical abilities today. So this is a mix of the cognitive side and the physical side of what a typical session will look like for a one-on-one individual. And another example is what I'm gonna talk about in the later on of this session is that they have group settings for older people, though, so they can engage. So look at this picture. Yes. So to start with, let's have some idea of what actually occupational therapy is and how it's different from physical therapy. So physical therapy, I'm sure that everyone here knows and understand what it is more on the motor ability side of the elderly, of the patients, and they are trying to help them move after surgery or accidents. For us, it's the same similar concept, but we're focusing on the independence of the patients. So we're trying to help them engage back to daily life activities, and it can be really hard for elderly because they are going through a process of aging, and that they will lose abilities of doing activities that they used to be doing, for example for cooking, for standing longer time, or even to like remembering what they just did like a few hours ago. This could be really frustrating for them because I'm sure when they're younger they can do everything, they can do all the stuff they want, and it's really frustrating because they cannot do it now. So we're trying to help them ease that frustration and stress so they can have a healthier mental life and be independent. So our typical OT sections, or a general idea, is mainly focused on the memory loss and vision loss. This is a typical elderly that we will serve. So for vision loss, a fun fact is 1 of 3 American after they age 65, they will suffer from some form of vision loss. So it's really common thing. And for us younger people, it's simple that we can just go to an eye doctor and just fix the whole problem by buying glasses or contact lenses. But for them, they really cannot repair or just simply buy glasses, and it's frustrating because they really cannot see and it's really hard. For us, for this one, we don't have practice like what I just showed you guys, but instead of doing practice and doing assessment, we'll go to the environment of the where the patient is living, so we can assess what's the difficulty and how we can do some little changes on the living environment. For example, in the kitchen, we'll like label stuff with a bigger font, or like put some memo papers with brighter colors so they can see better. And this is some really little changes that we can make to help them when they are living by themselves. So this can potentially help them gain back their independence and live alone. And another side is the memory loss part. So it's really frustrating for them to just forget what they are just doing. For this one, we have specifically some activities to help them not to like remember everything suddenly, but to help them build the tolerance, or like build a community so they can have some activities to slow down the process of memory loss. So for this one, we have examples like puzzles, or like games like poker games, or even like tiny matching games, so we can help them remember what some important parts that they have to remember to be independent in life. For this one, instead of assessing what their environment, what their living environment is, will help assess their ability on cognitive sides. So the first session for them for memory loss will be an assessment, so we can do plan some activities for them according to their degree of memory loss. So these are two examples or two typical sessions that we offer for elderly. But because of memory loss and vision loss, a lot of elderly is suffering from mental health issues. We're having a tiering system to help identify which kind of sessions they should be into. And that's why there's common sessions for a larger audience for elderly, so they can engage with each other. Like what I just showed you, a small group setting or even a larger group. So this tiering system is dividing patients according to their mental stability. So for tier 3, which is the first tier I'm going to cover, these are specifically for patients who are identified with emotional or mental disorder. So for this one, we work really closely with their psychiatrist and doctor, so we can best assess what they need and plan rehab sessions for one-on-one. So this one will include some of the counseling sections in the occupational therapy sessions too. So we can combine both the cognitive side, combine both the mental side, and also how they can engage better. And for the second tier, it's mostly for preventative purpose. This one will have small group settings, and then this one we're mainly trying to educate the older adults to have a healthy daily routines or prevent some negative thinking when they're by themselves. To do this, we highly recommend small group settings so they can engage with each other, talk with each other about what they are facing, what they are suffering from, and like to build a sense of belonging and have a community. So the first tier, which is the universal service that we provide, is mainly provided in a lot of community center or even in some little clinics that we have. So this one is for the general public, and we're targeting a larger audience. This one, a lot of people don't need doctor's admissions or doctor recommendation to go to because we're offering to a general public. This one, the activities will include talks or lifestyle intervention, yoga, and stuff that like is really simple or just like a little things that they can change to help promote a positive living lifestyle. I hope these sessions give you a general idea of what tiering system and how it works and why it is important for elderly to go to OT sessions to build and maintain a healthy living lifestyle and have a general idea of what typical OT session would look like for your family members. And if you have any questions related to this topic, you can stay a little bit later or just talk to me and ask. Feel free to ask any questions. So thank you so much. Thank you very much for attending this meeting again.